Guitar Hero. Well, not the first rhythm game, or even the first game involving a guitar controller. It was actually definitely 100% the giant that solidified the rhythm game genre into the mainstream. I mean, sure, we had Dance Dance Revolution and Dance Dance Revolution. It was also Parappa Parappa, but instead of dancing, we were plinking and plonking on a guitar. It had 5 fret buttons, a strumming bar, a whammy bar, a start select button, and it also looked like a Gibson SG. It was all very, very cool. You actually did feel like a rock star while playing it, especially when you tilt the thing to activate star power, and you certainly felt like a star while playing it. Assuming no one looked through the window while you were playing it, also wondering why you were playing with your whammy bar. Well, it wasn't the first rhythm game I personally played. It was actually Bust a Groove on the PS1 back in the day on a demo disc. It wasn't actually developer Harmonix's first foray into the rhythm game genre either. That would actually go to Frequency on the PS2, followed by a far, far superior sequel called Amplitude, which actually got a remake PS3 and PS4 in early 2016, followed by a series of Karaoke Revolution games. While the game's done well to an extent, they mostly had a cult following rather than huge fan bases. That's where Guitar Hero comes in. As mentioned earlier, not the first game with a guitar controller, that actually goes to a Japanese only PS1 and arcade game called Guitar Freaks, and it shows how they had a freaky looking guitar, which looks like a strange cousin of the Gibson Explorer guitars, which, funny enough, Harmonix modelled the controller for the Xbox 360 version of Guitar Hero 2 a couple years later. Released in 2005, Guitar Hero launched in the US and then in 2006 for Europe, exclusively for the PlayStation 2. I got the game not long after it came out, as it absolutely blew my mind, the idea of playing a guitar-based rhythm game, but for an actual guitar, or at least a guitar controller. Yes, the time I spent over the almost two decades could have been spent playing real guitar, but I actually do. But hell, I was rocking out to songs I never thought I'd actually be able to play on a real guitar at the time, and I probably still can't play them now. The setlist includes an arrangement of popular bangers such as I Love Rock and Roll, Smoke in the Water, Iron Man, Take Me Out, Fat Lip, More Than a Feeling, and No One Knows, followed by songs that are made by Harmonix employees with their own bands, and a lot of these songs are pretty dang great. Some not so much, but we'll get there. The main career setlist is comprised of 30 songs, all which are cover versions, so it gives it a more sort of realistic cover band vibe that the career mode goes for, followed by 17 bonus songs from the aforementioned Harmonix bands, for a total of 47 songs in the game on the disc. With a variety of genres, we'll be going through some rock music, pop, classic rock, metal, and weird. No dubstep here, at least not for a decade anyway. In this video, I'll be getting all of the game's retro achievements. If you're not too familiar, RetroAchievements is a website that adds achievements to lots of your favourite games from as early as the Atari 2600 up until the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. It's a great way to spice up replayability for your older games that you tend to revisit for nostalgia's sake, and as an Xbox achievement and PlayStation trophy hunter, I could not resist, especially as the first Guitar Hero game was never released beyond the PS2, so it never had any achievements or trophies. With this set of 79 achievements, we have to do the following: 5-star all the songs at expert, including all the bonus songs, completing every career on every difficulty while getting 5 stars on easy to hard as well on the main career songs, buying everything from the shop, including the bonus songs, the hidden characters, the videos, guitars and the finishes. While it sounds like a lot, the vast majority of it are related to basically beating the entire career on every difficulty while 5-starring everything. For seasoned veterans of the Guitar Hero games like myself, it's not too shabby honestly, but then I remembered I played Guitar Hero 1, and the engine. Oh boy, the engine. It's certainly the game engine of all time. You need to be incredibly precise to hit anything in this game, because for the most part you have to strum everything including the hammer-ons and pull-offs, which are these little guys here. You do really take for granted the future games and the much better engines for hitting notes, especially from Guitar Hero 3 onward. Now to get properly started with the video, from here on I won't show every song in full, but I'll showcase some parts of the song such as tricky bits, detailing the overall cover quality. While there are some good covers in the game, even decent ones, there are some absolute melts in it as well, and yes, I will be ripping them apart, even although these guys put all their efforts into it and are much better than what I can ever do. But however, it's the internet and we are all armchair critics after all. Right, to start with, we need to name our band. Usually this is the part where it would take absolutely forever. I named it Retro Steeps because I'm incredibly original. Onwards to the career mode, where I immediately dive into expert and to start rocking. Taking the centre stage for our first batch of songs is my boy Xavier Stone with a letter of the alphabet, the Gibson Flying V. Starting with I Love Rock and Roll, we are thrusted straight into what could potentially be the most iconic song of the series. Musically, it's incredibly competent, it's a great cover with accurate guitar tones, and the singer also does a pretty damn good job of sounding like Joan Jett as well. and while it's not absolutely accurate to the original song, keep in mind we're meant to be a cover band. It's one of the easiest songs as well, so we should have absolutely no issues getting a first FC. Oh no. I'm sure we'll full combo more songs in the future out of 47, right? Right? Overall, 8 out of 10, a solid cover and a solid start to the game's career mode. We get our first achievement for getting 5 stars on the song on Expert, $650 to spend on anything we want, and now we're ready to catapult ourselves to superstardom. Song number 2 is I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones, and this one's actually a fairly straightforward song. I suppose for tier 1 they're all fairly easy, I guess, but that's absolutely not foreshadowing at all. With almost every new song, the game teaches you something a little bit new. This one in particular is a fairly chordy little romp, with lots of different power chords to play in quick succession. Musically, it's pretty good. I guess it can't be too difficult to replicate the sound of the band, so credit where credit is due. Vocally it's okay, but the end part here, yeah, this bit right here, don't like it. Sounds a little bit off, but hey, I'm not an expert though. 7 out of 10, can't complain too much. We lock in and get our first FC of 47 songs, so there we go, progress has been made. Of course, we get our 5-star achievement, our money, and then we move on. On to Thunderkiss 65 by Rob Zombie, or as I personally call it, Difficulty Spike, the song. It starts with a tricky chord rhythm for tier 1, followed by a few singular notes, then repeats the rhythm, so nothing crazy too far, but for first timers and expert it can actually throw you off. It certainly did for me back when I was younger. And it chucks you straight into a solo before being back on the main riff there. Then onto a little bridge to let you breathe before it goes to, for tier 1, an absolutely insane section of notes, which I of course aced. The rest of the song goes as well as expected, followed by an outro which is completely undercharted, but maybe that's for the best. Musically, I actually really like this cover. It's actually genuinely one of my favourites in fact. Guitars sound good, it's very crunchy, the solos sound good. Vocally, the dude does a good job of imitating Rob's sort of growly, raspy vocals. I would actually give it a 9 out of 10. So we get our achievement and then we move on. On to Smoke on the Water, which is everyone's first guitar song. It's easy, it's a classic, it's iconic. Arguably one of the most recognisable rock riffs ever made. It's a great cover, vocally excellent, and you can tell that Wave Group poured a lot of love into the song to sound as accurate as possible. I also nailed the close enough. They even added a cheeky second solo to ruin everyone's day, as well as another undercharted big rock ending, but it works, you know. Overall, 9 out of 10, great stuff. Let's get our achievement, money, and onto the last song of this tier. Infected, which is actually our first D standard song. Just a little fun fact for you right there. Overall a pretty good song, but underwhelming for the first set's encore. I feel like it should have been either Smoke in the Water or Thunderkiss, but I digress. It's a fairly easy song with fast chordy bits and a shockingly difficult solo part that actually comes out of nowhere, which I only say because of course I ruined my FC run here. Overall, a great cover with some great vocals. The solo sounds a wee bit different in the OG song, but honestly, it may be because I haven't heard the song in years, but oh well. We get 2 achievements here, one for 5-starring the song as normal, and one for getting 5 stars on every song on the whole first tier. Neat. Rockers of the Week as well, nice. We're definitely going to get our World Tour sorted next. Johnny Napalm takes the centre spotlight for a second set of songs, along with the Gibson SG and Cherry Red, which I totally didn't pick because of Iron Man, which is coincidentally our first song of this set. Similar to Smoke in the Water, the guys that done this cover clearly put a ton of effort and love into it, as it's definitely one of the best covers in this game. Guitar wise, it's great as always, and you'll actually find this to be the trend for the vast majority of the covers in this game. And vocally excellent. The guy singing definitely tried his hardest to sound exactly like Ozzy, and while it's not perfect, it's damn good. Also, I nailed this bit of the solo and felt pure dopamine for about 5 seconds. Another 9 out of 10. Morning and Feeling by Boston, one of my personal favourite classic rock songs of all time, and it has a pretty good chart, a pretty good cover, and decent vocals. Pretty standard Boston chart if you've played future Guitar Hero and Rock Band games, as it has the trademarked Boston flick in the solo, this little bit right here. Musically, good as always, vocals to me are just a tiny bit flat, but solid overall. I would give this one an 8 out of 10. We even got our second FC out of 47, but most importantly though, we got our achievement. You got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest. So, I like the original song, the chart is okay, but it does last about 5 years. It's not my favourite cover either. The team definitely put in the effort, it's obviously better than anything I will ever do, but to me it's just a little bit flat. Shame, as I really like Judas Priest as well, but oh well. It's a 6 out of 10 for me personally. Also, the solo on this engine is just total but that's just a skill issue. Also, the outro sucks. I'm sorry. But we do get an achievement and move on though. On to arguably, at least in my humble Scottish opinion, the worst cover in the game. I love Franz Ferdinand, but I hate to say Wavegrave has not done this song justice. It starts and sounds promising, and then the vocals hit. Oh god. The main riff sounds good at least, but everything else... Having an American man covering Art Sopranos, a Scotsman who is also part Greek, but shh! Don't get me wrong, he puts in the effort, but to me it just doesn't work. It's my least favourite colour in the game. The guitar chart's okay, that's about it. 3 out of 10, I'm so sorry to the man who sung this, but it's nothing personal, I swear, honestly. Once again we get our achievement and then our money, and then we get on to the final song of this set, which is Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top, or ZZ Top if you're from Europe. I don't really have much to say about this one, as I'm not overly familiar with the band. The only thing I know of them is they cameoed in the third Back to the Future movie as the band that spun their instruments and played the Western 1800s version of one of their songs, and they have long beards. That's literally all I know. The song is good fun, it's funky, musically it's competent, overall pretty decent. Again, not much to say. Oh, we're so close to an FC in this run as well. Please don't choke, please don't choke. Oh god damn it! 7 out of 10, and for our efforts we also get 2 achievements. Again, 1 for 5 star on the song, and 1 for 5 star on all the songs in this set. Excellent! We're on the rise now. Time to head to the store, and then we're going to play some Smoke in the Water on an out of tune guitar. Nah, we're actually here to expand our guitar collection. What I do here is I buy all the guitars here for the achievement. I pick Judy Nails as our star of choice for the next set. For something a little bit different, I choose the EDS 1275, which is an absolute mouthful. Might be a little bit overkill for a first song though, which is Killer Queen by Queen. Musically, I absolutely adore the tones that they use for the guitar in this. It's so satisfying, crispy, clean at the same time. It's just very Queen. But let's be honest, no one can imitate Freddie Mercury. 8 out of 10 though. The song also has a very fun solo which I absolutely nailed and was incredibly satisfying. And then, to absolutely no surprise of anyone of course, I finished the song in the worst way possible, but we do collect our achievement and move on. Onto Hey You by the X's, which, if I'm being honest, kind of forgot existed. It's an alright song, but it's quite forgettable. A decently fun chart and a good cover though, and some pretty good vocals, so it's up there in the rankings at least, but it's just not the best song ever. I would probably say it's about 7 out of 10 at the most. I, of course, nailed the solo. Let's get our achievement and move on. We're about halfway through the main set list now, which is pretty stellar. Just like the next song, Stellar by Incubus. I really quite like this cover actually. The vocalist does a cracking job at sounding like Brandon. Although the How Do You Do It bits sound a little bit whiny, but musically it's stellar. Jokes aside, it's a pretty good cover and a fun enough chart for tier 3. I would rate this one 8 out of 10. I was going to rate it about 9 if the vocals were a little bit better, but we do get our third FC of the game as well as our achievement as always. On to Heart Full of Black, which is a pretty damn fun rock song which sounds like it's full of 80s cheese, but surprisingly it's actually a mid-2000s song. It's a really good cover and I highly enjoy it musically and vocally, and the chart's also pretty fun, especially this one bit here, which, of course, I ace. 8 out of 10, and yes, we are starting to see a theme here, but not a perfect score for one reason alone. It ends with an imperfect cadence. You can blame my friend William for telling me what that term meant back in 2006, I haven't actually forgiven him since for it. But anyway, let's get our achievement, our money, and on to our next song, which happens to be the final song of this set. Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, another iconic song in this game, although it's not my favourite chart. It's fun, but in this engine it's a bit of a chore. In a better engine like Clone Hero, it is immensely satisfying to ace it, but this isn't Clone Hero, so it's not. Musically it's great, although the vocals are a little bit weird, dare I say, creepy. Again, blame William for pointing that one out. Bloody William. 7 out of 10 cover, but not much else to say. With the song being 5-starred, we get our achievement for the song, as well as 5-star on all the songs in this set. Everyone's favourite goth girlfriend, Rocker Pandora, takes centre stage for this set, along with the Explorer guitar, starting us off with Ziggy Stardust and us being flashbanged? I believe this is an emulation issue, as it never happened in real hardware back in the day, so sorry to anyone watching this at night time and are now wondering why your entire room has been lit up like the surface of the sun. Despite being one of the slower songs of the game, it's a very fun chart with some good chordy parts and fun little solo bits, which I of course ace as usual. Great cover all round, it's definitely one of my favourites in the game, although not my absolute favourite, but I'm happy to give that 9 out of 10. With that, we get our achievement, cash, and onto the next song, which is Fat Lip by Sum41. Nothing much to say about this one, however, it is a good cover with some good vocals, good and crunchy guitar work, just solid all round. Do I see it though? Aye, right. Still set though. Silly game, still I was in the previous tier. 8 out of 10 cover though. Cochise by Audioslave is our next song, or is it Cochise? I never know, and please write in the comments and I'll never read it. I might be a little bit biased, but I absolutely love this song, and this cover as well. Might honestly be my absolute favourite cover in this whole game. The vocalist nails Chris Cornell's voice, and the guitar work is brilliant. Is it the perfect cover though? And can you distinguish it from the original song? Of course not. You can tell right away it's a cover, but it's my favourite and it's my video, so it gets a 10 out of 10. Also, I didn't see it because of course, but I did get an achievement. Next song is Take It Off by the Donnas. Another great cover, very fast, frantic and fun. Pretty accurate to the original song, just all fun all round. Not sure if I'd put it in tier 4 though, save for the solo I guess, which I nail of course, I will. I rate it 8 out of 10, but let's just continue on with our spoils. On to Unsung by Helmet. Well, the cover itself is great. Now that I think about it, this entire tier is probably the best in terms of the covers. The song itself is a little bit boring though. It's a good song to practice chords if you need help though. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a snooze fest. Not enough to make me lose my locking in though and getting my 4th FC of the game so far. We also get an achievement for 5-star in the song, along with 5-star on all the songs in the tier. Time for Axel to take the stage with his weird pulsating arms and hands. And to go with his weird body malfunctions, the Gibson Corvus. He seems like a Corvus kind of guy. Our first song with the set is Spanish Castle Magic by Jimi Hendrix. Whoa, they actually got Hendrix in the first game? That's awesome. Musically it's great. Vocally though? It is the vocal song of all time. Fun fact, the Hendrix estate didn't actually allow the vocals to be put on the final song. They didn't actually want an impersonator. There does exist a vocal version of the song though on YouTube somewhere, and honestly it's actually pretty damn good. But I'm going to rate the cover that we got in the final game, and unfortunately, while musically it's great, I have to rate it 5 out of 10 since it hasn't got vocals, but again, it's solid all round. Let's just get our achievement and move on. On to Higher Ground by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Originally a song by Stevie Wonder, covered by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, now covered by another third party. A cover of a cover, if you will. Pretty good all round, I highly enjoy the cover. Vocally though, the singer sounds a little bit far away, if that makes sense. Otherwise, the guitar and bass work is really damn good. Again, I give it another 8 out of 10. Achievement in the next song. On to No One Knows by the Queens of the Stone Age. I believe this was everyone's difficulty spike hurdle back in the day when they were playing Expert for the first time. It certainly was for me. Especially for this little bit here. But nowadays, this is pretty tame. The cover's pretty damn good. Again, not perfect, but really good. Nothing much else to say here, honestly. 8 out of 10 all around. Apart from the bit I mentioned earlier, the chart's actually pretty fun. As always, let's get our achievement and move on. On to what might be the second most iconic song of Guitar Hero 1, but also one of the most controversial in terms of charting. But we'll get to that in a minute. Musically, it's more anthem-y, probably the best way I can put it, but the vocalist, despite doing his best, cannot imitate Lemmy. Definitely sounds more American-y than the original song, since Motorhead are from the UK after all. To be fair, I can't imitate Lemmy either, but 6 out of 10 cover, as harsh as that sounds. Do you remember when I said I had controversial charting? It's probably for the best, but yep. Secretly glad it wasn't charted, as honestly we'll probably never pass it due to the engine. But with that, let's get our achievement and move on to the final song of the set, which is Crossroads by Cream. It's a decent cover, although the vocals are a little bit nasally. Guitar work is excellent however, and it's a pretty fun chart all around, especially the solos. Nothing much else to say, so let's just get our 2 achievements and then move on to the final set of this career. One character left to take the stage, and that's our main man Clive Winston. Of course, being the classic rocker of the roster, we got to give him the Les Paul to rock with. On to Godzilla. And this is a very fun song actually, and a damn good cover to boot. It's just pure fun all around, and actually pretty close to the original song as well. I'll definitely rate this one an 8 out of 10. I just wish the engine was a little bit better for these now harder songs. However, let's just get the thing that we came here for, our achievement, and then move on. On to one of my personal favourite songs to play, Texas Flood. At least if it was Clone Hero anyway. As fun as the song is, it's absolutely ruined by the absolute engine. Well, a good cover musically, vocally it's okay. Not my favourite, but it's not terrible. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 at least though, because the guitarist does an excellent job at covering it. So let's collect our Oh. We got 4 stars. Let's run that back then, eh? Yeah, yes, second try. On to the next song, which is Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group. An instrumental song this time, so I'll rate it musically as 9 out of 10, as actually pretty accurate to the original song. As for the chart, incredibly fun, on a better engine. I absolutely struggled on this one, as you can see by this result screen. I tried again and again, but I kept getting 4 stars, until I actually brought out my secret weapon. A controller? For those who didn't have the guitar growing up, this is what you used to play the songs with, but hey, it works well, so I can't argue with it. I hardly used the controller back in the day because I was actually an SG snob, but we put our weapon to use and finally we nailed the 5 stars required for the achievement. I have to admit, using the controller for this song was actually immensely satisfying to pull off. Next song we have in this final tier is Cowboys from Hell by Pantera. Now when I was younger I used to absolutely love nailing this song on the guitar controller, mainly because I had a CRT that I played on and it was lag free, but honestly in this playthrough it was an absolute misery. I love the song, the cover is good, the guitar is really crunchy, and I like crunchy, but my god. But I'll give it a 7 out of 10, but screw this chart on this damn engine, especially when you get 4 stars for the 3rd time in a row. This game does not f around, or maybe I'm just washed. I once again pulled out my secret weapon for the 5-star run however. Similar to Frankenstein, it was surprisingly fun to pull off, so it made me less miserable I guess. As always, we get our achievement and move on to the final song of the main career, which is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. I'll say this right now, it is absolutely not the hardest song in the game, but it's certainly fitting for the grand finale of the career mode. Fantastic guitar work, good vocals, the musicians definitely put in a ton of effort to sound like Ozzy, just like Iron Man from earlier on. So clearly a lot of love went into this. An epic conclusion, nailing the riffs, the epic solos, sweating during the final solos. We are now officially a guitar hero, just like the name of the game. We get a literal axe to use as a guitar, but more importantly, our achievements for 5-star in the song and the entire set. We did it! Except, no. No we didn't. We still got another 17 songs ahead of us, so let's first do a little shopping spree. We're still got to buy them first. We get Song Collector for buying all 17 bonus songs, Sparking It Up for buying a Guns N' Roses reject called Izzy Sparks, Death Speaks for buying the actual Grim Reaper, or Grim Ripper in this case, Lore Collector for buying all the behind the scenes videos, and Customizer Freak for buying all the guitar finishes. With that, that's all the achievements for buying and unlocking things done, so we just got to get 5 stars in all the remaining songs now. Izzy, the first of our bonus characters, takes the centre stage with the battle axe to start our bonus song career off. Now, I won't get into much detail compared to the main career songs, but I'll mention if I like the song and any bits that stand out. There's one song in particular that stands out, but we'll absolutely get to that later on. From here on, all the songs are actual masters and not covers this time, so with that, we'll be going through these songs in order, starting with Fire It Up by Black Label Society. I like this song. A little bit the slow side, but it's a good vibe. And then all of a sudden, solo jump scare out of goddamn nowhere. Otherwise, it's a fun song and a good break after the insanity of the 6th tier. Our next song is Cheating the Church by Graveyard Barbecue, which are also the contest winners back before the game released to get your own song in the game, so that's pretty damn cool. The song is also pretty cool, arguably my favourite bonus song in the whole game. Good fun all around, while tricky, it's an incredibly fun chart. Caveman Rejoice, our first harmonics band song, and what an absolute banger it is. I always liked this song back in the day and I still love it now. Great fun, unique idea for a song, tricky solo, just good stuff all around. Our next song is Eureka I Found Love, which just screams 70s and 80s cheese, but hey, good fun all around. But not much to say about this one though. All of This by Seamus, another personal favourite of mine, but has a ridiculously difficult solo on this engine, but if you do pull it off, it's incredibly satisfying. All of This makes me love you more indeed. Behind the Mask by Anarchy Club, probably one of the more underrated songs in this section, a much slower hard rock, kinda metally song, but with a very fun chart. Good stuff all around with a very cool main riff. The Breaking Wheel by Artillery, which, fun fact, from Guitar Hero 2 onwards, this band named themselves The Breaking Wheel after this song. A sludgy, groovy instrumental which is a total strumathon, but shockingly fun to play with a very cool breakdown part. Call Out by the Acrobrats, a fast punky song with a decently fun chart. We even locked in and got our 5th FC of the video. And with that, the Grim Reaper takes the stage for the final half of the bonus songs. We can't actually choose a guitar, which is probably for the best as we get his, let's be honest, cool as hell scythe as a guitar. We played the basement of our house from the start of the career as it feels like we should end where it all started. Our first song for the second lot of songs is Decontrol by Drist, a hard rock metal song which is a strumathon similar to Breaking Wheel but with a very, very tricky solo. Of course, I nailed it. Ignore what I said earlier about my favourite bonus song, as our next song, Even Rats by the Slip, is actually my favourite bonus song in the whole game. A slow, soft rock song, great chart, and an absolute vibe. I actually locked in so hard to get our 6th FC. I do not know how hard I tried to nail this to. I was insanely locked in. 996 notes of pure bliss. Oh no. Oh no. Farewell Myth by Made in Mexico. So probably the most unique song in the game for its experimental noise rock experience. I hated the song when I was younger, but the older I got, I started appreciating it a bit more. I genuinely think this is a good song, purely for its unique style. The chart is also good fun, and while I generally don't hate the song anymore, I wouldn't exactly put it in my music playlist or anything. I was also going to make this my 7th FC until, oops. Flying the Wall by Din. This used to be my warm-up song back in the day. A good chart with a little bit of everything in it, including, surprisingly for a song like this, sweeps, but epic solo nonetheless. With any harmonics game, it's pretty much a rite of passage to have freeze pop in your setlist and Get Ready to Rock as a bona fide banger, which also takes the crown of having the hardest song in the bonus tier. Fast, frantic, mini solos, one big solo of chaos, what's not to love? On to Hey by Honest Bob, and this is a nice slow pop rock song which is also insanely catchy. Not much to say about this one unfortunately, but it's there and it's fun. Sail Your Ship by Count Zero. This is another one of those sort of unique, weird sounding ones, but it sounds like a lagoon, if that makes sense. For a song about boats, I guess it kind of makes sense. Not the hardest song in the world, but it's a fun one both to play and listen to. Story of My Love by the Model Sons. Despite being one of those songs that just exists in these games, I actually genuinely do quite like this song. It's got cool riffs, and while it's not the most memorable, I'll certainly remember getting my 7th FC out of it though. Good fun. Now we save the title song, Guitar Hero, for last. This is by Monkey Steals the Peach, which genuinely might be the greatest band name of all time. It's a song about being a guitar hero, it just works. Fast and frantic, tricky strumming sections, it's a great way to end off the bonus songs. We now become a guitar god and probably should get a real guitar. Silly game, I've had many real guitars over the years. And with that, we have completed the whole game in Expert, achieving 5 stars on all the songs and getting all the misc achievements. However, we're not done yet. We still got to go through the career mode in easy, medium and hard while 5-starring everything again. Thankfully though, we do not need to go through the bonus songs, we just purely need to do the 30 main songs on medium and hard and 25 songs on easy. I will absolutely not be going into detail here, otherwise we'll be here till next week, so consider this a lightning round. I'll showcase the achievements we get and the mastery at the end. I played hard difficulty with the guitar and easy and medium with the controller to try and change it up a little bit. So, cue the montage. And with that, we have officially mastered the first game, Guitar Hero. Overall, it was pretty fun to get all the achievements on the only game in the series that never actually had them in the first place. That's if you don't count the DS games as well. It was certainly a nostalgic trip for me, and I really hope it was for you lot too. I will be doing future Guitar Hero and other rhythm games with retro achievement support. It'll be cool to see what achievement sets there are for the other games in the series, although I imagine it'll be kinda similar to this game. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and it'll help me out massively. Subscribe for more in the future. I mainly play rhythm games, so if you like that, please definitely consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Rock on.